And as soon as we get that going, we're going to get into the program today. It is wonderful that we are able to do these programs each month to bring you up to date on what's happening in our community with all the governments that serve the people of Kaiser. Okay, we are now live on Facebook. And so welcome officially to the March edition of Coffee with Cathy. I am joined here today by my friends Betty Hart from the Kaiser Fire District Board of Directors, Ramiro Navarro from the Chariots Board of Directors, and today we are welcoming a guest who I hope will be a regular on this program, and that is Diane Watson, who represents Kaiser on the Board of Directors for, actually it's the Board of Education.
Yes.
For the Temecula Community College. Welcome, Diane. Thank you for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
So I've got a few things to share with our viewers today about what's going on, and I've got a couple of things I can share on the screen. The first is, as most people know, Kaiser celebrated our 40th birthday November of last year, and this year we are celebrating our 40th year as a city. We are the second youngest city in Oregon, and we have the privilege of being not just a young city, but a I'm trying to share my screen at the same time, so that's what I get for trying to click and talk at the same time. We're a young city, but an older community. We have so many organizations that predate the city of Kaiser, but that doesn't stop us from just having a really good time and having a wonderful party. So I want to share with you, where's that flyer? There it is. We are going to celebrate our birthday on June 16th and 17th. So I'm going to share my screen here to show you where the information is, where you can get involved and you can put it on your calendar. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. It is Saturday morning after all. Good morning, Pastor Dominguez. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning.
So, so folks can see we've got a anniversary party coming for the people of Kaiser to come and celebrate. We need volunteers for entertainment, food and beverage, and you can get that information from the City of Kaiser website. We're going to have a great time, dance and party on Friday night the 16th, and an event all day Saturday on the 17th of June. So plan to come on down and join with the community in celebrating Kaiser being 40 years old. So it's not so much about us being old, but it's a matter of what we've done over this 40 years. If anybody has looked at my Facebook page recently, the new cover picture is a storyboard that we did to launch our strategic planning for the people, for the city of Kaiser. We're working with a consultant to do a 5-year plan. And as she wanted us to start off with, okay, kind of a timeline. Well, it very quickly evolved into a storyboard because one thing would help us remember this, which help us remember that, and turned into a beautiful mural. But there was a significant portion of that time storyboard that predates the incorporation of the city of Kaiser. So many organizations predated the actual incorporation of Kaiser, which tells us that the foundation of our community was laid long before we actually took the step. And I'm going to say we, as in the people of Kaiser in 1982, actually took the big step of incorporating. A lot of things were already in place, a lot of organizations and services, but it's kind of like, okay, we have everything going. At some point, you got to commit. And the people in this community committed in 1982. So come on and join us and bring your memories, but also your plans and ideas for the future. So on the program with me today are all the folks that are working not only for the present, but for the future of our community. And it's always a lot of fun to hear about what's happening in the city of Kaiser. Another thing I want to share with you, and then I'm going to go to Ramiro, because this is a project for safety action in transportation in our region. So right now we are doing a safety action plan, and we would like you, everyone who is watching, to participate in that safety action plan. So let's see if I can get that on my screen. Nope, I don't have it open yet. I'm going to open up that flyer. So on my Facebook page and on the Metropolitan Planning page, you're going to see information about a metropolitan, safety action plan. Tammy Coons from the Greater Northeast Kaiser Neighborhood Association is on that committee, and she is doing a fabulous job representing the people of Kaiser. So we want to encourage people to share about the spaces that are working, the spaces that are not. And so you'll see the Metropolitan Transportation Safety Action Plan. You can go to the page through the Mid-Willamette Valley Council of Governments, and there's a fun interactive map. I've been on there already and marking spaces for sidewalks, for the improvement projects that we want to get done, for ideas about making transportation for everybody who uses our transportation system. If you're walking, biking, driving a vehicle, conducting business as freight, agriculture, riding transit, however you're getting around, we want to make sure we're setting up our system with safety in mind. So please participate in that. That interactive site will be open for a few weeks, and we would like to get your input on that. Also, if you have additional questions, please reach out to me. I do chair the Salem Kaiser Area Transportation Study, our MPO that's running this safety action plan. So is Clark C at kaiser.org, and your input is welcome. So I want to go to Ramiro because I know that the Chariots is also very involved in the safety action plan and so much more with what's happening at the Chariots. And welcome, Bob Salazar from the school board. Glad to have you on today.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. So I am glad to be here today, Mayor Clark, with the rest of you great folks serving the community of Kaiser. It's always great to share what's happening in our regional public transit provider, Chariots. So a couple of things. Earth Day Chariots will be participating in the City of Kaiser's sponsored Earth Day celebration on Saturday, April 22nd. That's from 10 a.m. to noon at Kaiser Rapids Park. We will be letting families know which routes to take to get them to this family-friendly event. And thanks to the community sponsored Zero Pass program, everybody 0 to 18 does not have to pay a fare. Speaking of the Zero Youth Pass program, members of our communication division are in Las Vegas this past month for the annual American Public Transportation Association's annual marketing and communications workshop. That team received a first place award for the best marketing and communications campaign to support ridership or sales. This campaign increased ridership 89% with an under $4,000 youth pass marketing campaign. Great job. Everybody loved the characters. This is where you'll see like the little characters on some of our marketing material. And they came up with that, and it was really successful. There was a legislative conference that we just got back from a couple days ago. I say we because it was me and our general manager, Alan Pollock, who got to attend this conference. This was the American Public Transportation Association's 2023 legislative conference. During our visit at the Capitol Hill, we got to urge Congress to support a full investment of the public transit and passenger rail in the FY 2024 Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development and Related Agencies Appropriations Bill. Sorry, that's a mouthful. The annual event also included sessions with federal officials on top public policy issues affecting public transportation, including the implementation of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, or the IIJA, and the Inflation Reduction Act, or the IRA, and discussion centered on creating jobs, advancing equity, and addressing climate change. This upcoming May, there are going to be some service changes effective May 7th. Chariots local weekday service will be increasing from 93% to 100% of pre-pandemic service levels. All other Chariots service will continue to operate at 100%. Of note, Juneteenth falls on a Monday this year, so Chariots Local will operate at the Sunday service level on that day. Route 40 will have 2 new stops that will be shared with Route 45 and the new Monmouth Independence trolley service. That's really cool. If you guys haven't seen the pictures of it yet, it's a wheeled trolley, so it's not like the traditional trolleys that are on tracks. But Monmouth and Independence are going to be running that nonstop. And going back to Mayor Clark's plug about the Council of Government survey, so the MWCOG is asking the community to help shape the new Salem-Keizer Transportation Safety Action Plan. Chariots is helping to get the word out with this series of short videos featuring some of my fellow board members. You can help by taking the survey, tagging unsafe streets, and telling your story. This action plan will take a fresh look at the local crash data, get community input, and develop actions to reduce crashes and protect people. To access the survey, you can just go to mwbcog.org and click on the featured causes link. One thing I forgot to mention was while we were on the Hill, we got to meet with our elected representatives out there and really emphasize how important it is that that they support us with increasing access to public transportation. Some of that included getting 5 new electric buses. So we already have, a couple electric buses that are on the way, and we want to continue taking those diesel buses out of our fleet. And so with this additional purchase of 5 new electric buses, we'll be able to do that. We're also investing in the construction of the South Salem Transit Center, which is going to get public transit in an area that it's really difficult to navigate right now. And once we get to invest in that area, it's going to make it easier for everybody. And one thing that we're looking at in the future, hopefully, is the construction of a new Chemeketa Transit Center. So that's a little bit more of a long range vision, but it just shows that the good people at Chariots are keeping you folks in mind and getting the work done to make riding easier.
Well, that's a great transition to one of our guests today, Diane Watson from the Chemeketa Community College Board of Education. Diane represents the zone that covers the people of Keizer and is elected to serve in that office and has done so for quite some time. I am delighted to have her join us here today and talk about what's going on at Chemeketa Community College, the premier community college in the state of Oregon. And we're very proud that our Chemeketa Community College continues to meet the needs of so many people in our community of all ages who are seeking to improve skills, to further their education, and to set people up for long-term success. Diane, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm pleased to be here. Romero mentioned something about the transit, increasing transit at Chemeketa, and we're certainly looking into making it more accessible and looking and improving the site because we are the second largest transit center for the Chariots. I want to talk about 2 of our programs today. The one that I'm just really tickled about. Chemeketa is now going to be offering a Bachelor of Applied Science in Leadership and Management. And what that means, the legislature a couple of years ago passed that community college could offer a bachelor's degree. And Chemeketa is the first in the state to put forward a bachelor's degree. And what this is, if you got a degree in electronics or an applied science degree, an associate degree in say the trades or in welding or let's say refrigeration, heating, air conditioning, these were kind of dead-end degrees. You got your associate's degree, you could work as a technician, but it didn't give you the bachelor's degree to move on up in your job. Well, right now, this is a tag-on, and it's made for working adults who have an associate of applied science degree and want to have a bachelor's degree to move up in the company, maybe in management. And it's a user-friendly degree. We're going to take 25 individuals into this program. It'll be a cohort, and in 2 years, they come out with a bachelor's degree. It's a lot of it is online, and you come to class one night a week, because if you're a working adult, that's real difficult to go many nights a week to get your degree. So, and a lot of it are projects that you can do at work while you're working. So it's really a user-friendly degree to create an opportunity and a pathway for adults who are in the workplace and want to move up in the company into more of a managerial position. What's more, on this pathway, you can get your associate's degree. You can start out with a certificate, then get your associate's degree, and then get your bachelor's degree. And if you want to get a master's degree, Western Oregon is going to accept the last quarter of this degree towards a master's degree. So it creates a wonderful pipeline. And we're not stopping there. We're right now trying to get permission to offer the BSN, the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. It really is an applied baccalaureate degree, but you need to have the title BSN in order to offer this. And I'm going to brag a little bit, because Chemeketa last year was named the #1 school in Oregon for their pass rate and for their registered nursing program. And so we have a very, very strong program, and we had 100% pass rate this year as well. And this is with 2- and 4-year colleges in the state. So we're in a good position. We have a strong program. What this does is it allows our citizens to stay at home and get a nursing degree. They don't have to go away. They don't have to go outside this area. And then they stay here, and our local hospitals have a real advantage, because there's a shortage of nurses. We need many, many different pathways for nursing students to progress to the BSN. Hospitals now can have a portion, it's my understanding, they can have a portion of their employees that have an RN, just the 2-year associate degree, but the majority have to be the BSN. And so it creates a pipeline for, Salem Health and for Silverton Hospital, Good Sam, and for Staten Hospital to have nurses that will stay in this area rather than go outside the area, do their internship, and then get hired in Portland or someplace else. So we want our nurses here. So we're lobbying for this, and if we get it, it'd probably be a couple of years before we would be offering the BSN. That's exciting. The other thing that I think is really exciting is the newest thing on campus is we have an agriculture complex center. This has been long in the pipeline. We're in the Willamette Valley that has lots and lots of farms and lots of needs. And this is really a state-of-the-art facility. We have gardens, and we have hoop houses, and we have a teaching facility, which is made, by the way, from all Oregon products. It is a state-of-the-art. We'd love to give tours of it, but it's a really nice place. It has a plant wall inside of it. Maybe I can learn to keep my plants alive, but it's just really nice. We have it's to house our horticulture program, our agribusiness program, and we have now a certificate for irrigation and another certificate for pest management. There's a picture of it, and you have to turn your head kind of sideways, but #1 are the buildings that we have. And like I say, we have hoop houses, and we have greenhouses, and there's gardens. There's one garden that is organic, for organic products. And we're partnering with the Marion County Food Share, and we'll be sending some of our produce there. And also we'll have a Saturday market, which, by the way, opens, I had written this down, I think was May 3rd. It's going to be on, just a second here. Yes, it's going to be May 3rd to September 27th. It's from 3 to 7, and it's in the Agricultural Hub Plaza. But literally, this is a state-of-the-art building facility, and we really look forward to showing people the facility. When you go out there for the Saturday market, you might peek around, because it is just really beautiful. We've had a lot of meetings there as well, because there's a nice open area inside it, and there's patios outside where students can gather. So it's multi-purpose. And we look forward to growing and offering more workshops and things in this area and listening to our farmers of what in our agriculture institutes, what do they need? And of course, community colleges are very flexible, and we can offer short-term training, we can offer degrees and certificates, which take a little longer to get in place, but we're here. Community colleges are designed to serve the needs of the community. And I feel it's my job to find out what we need out here and listen to you folks in Zone 6 and take that back to the college. So, I'm available anytime if you want to talk about something or you see some needs. Also, I want to say the agriculture complex, we had a lot of support from farmers putting this together, making donations, like one of our greenhouses was donated to us. So it's just fantastic, the partnerships that we have. So other than that, I mentioned to Romero that we have a new fire engine. And it was something we needed because we have a fire suppression program in Brooks, which is really close to you. We have a number of programs there that are just really, really top-notch programs. But our fire engines, we had 2 of them, and they were limping along, and they were quite old. And through some ARPA money, Teresa Alonso Leon secured some money, and we have a new fire engine. And the other day, I got to wash the fire engine as part of a ceremony that they have to initiate a new fire engine, that and pushing the fire engine, taking it out, washing it, and then they push it back into the firehouse. So that was an experience. But as I say, I'm here, and if you need some, you have some ideas, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Well, we're really excited about all of the work happening at Chemeketa, and the students that are able to come through those programs and enter into professions that serve the needs of our community and our businesses right here.
Yes.
My own family, every single one of my family members have taken classes at Chemeketa. Some have degrees from Chemeketa and has served everybody so well. So Diane, we're going to have you on frequently to keep us up to date what's happening at Chemeketa. And if you haven't done a tour at the Agricultural Center, I'm going to tell you it's gorgeous, absolutely fabulous. And the state-of-the-art instruction, the business savvy that they're building into every single part of the program is second to none. But of course, that's how we operate here in the Salem-Keizer area. Top notch all the way, and Chemeketa is helping lead the way. And it's Bob Salazar. I am so glad you're on here today because you have the Salem-Keizer School District partners so strongly with Chemeketa. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, and could I share a little bit about? I had the opportunity 2 weeks ago to view the ambassador program that they collaborate with the school district on Barbara Roberts, and I was thoroughly impressed. The students there conducted the tours with some of the board members, and the president of the college was there, and some of their board members. And the students who were there were really appreciative of what has been done for them. In order, the class sizes are smaller, they have counseling resources, they have college career people that are conducting with them. They also have, for single parent, they have childcare, and the children there, or the students that are attending there, say that it was something that they needed because the settings, and sometimes this is something that's indicative that we find out, are sometimes a large school setting isn't good for them, but yet they had small class sizes that they could meet with their teachers at will, and had that flexibility, and that they had timeout areas they could go to and counsel with someone who they just needed that. Some are there not because they had real behavior issues, but maybe because they had anxieties, working in a large school environment. And Chemeketa has just really been a savior for those students. And also, as Diane has already mentioned, it's a pathway for those students too. Chemeketa is offering so many other programs that they can tune into and do well with as their needs are needed and shown. So I was very impressed with what I saw there. I know that the things that she's already mentioned and some of the things that RJ was talking about, these students, some of them are marginally resourced individuals. And so they have trouble, maybe having that transportation to get there on a regular basis. And so all the collaboration of these agencies is welcomed. And, I was quite impressed.
Well, I also would like to take this opportunity and thank you, Bob, for your service on the Salem Kaiser School Board, stepping in to represent Kaiser in a very effective way. I know that you're not running for another term or for a term of office. I looked at the Marion County elections list, and we have 2 candidates who are going to be on the ballot for representing the people of Kaiser. But I just want to thank you for stepping up and bringing your 45 years of experience in education and your strong leadership to our Board of Education and representing Kaiser during a very, very pivotal decision for the school district. And the new superintendent, Andrea Castaneda. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was quite a process. And I know there was an article in the Kaiser Times that, depicted that there wasn't much transparency, but we were held to tight rules also, and in selection of that, of what could go out. And there was, I spent 3 Saturdays, 10-hour Saturdays in the process of selecting individuals, going from a group of 15 applicants to 3 to our final selection. And there were differences of opinion. It wasn't all, everybody it wasn't unanimous to begin with, but we looked at the pros and cons, and with my perception of having worked in the schools and what was needed, it was something that I felt was valuable to the board. And also with my vision that what did we want for children? What was the best for children? And that was I think some things that we bantered back and forth about. So yeah, it was a good process, and there was input from the public. It wasn't just the board members making that decision. There were several different aspects that were taken into consideration in developing and coming up with criteria, and then following that criteria and selecting the new superintendent. And there will be challenges. There will be challenges. We going forward with the school district, but one thing I can say with this opportunity to serve on the school board, I've been out to schools and seen some excellent programs, seeing what's going on. Cathy, that you and I attended a program at McNary, and excellent administrator and staff, and what they were doing just was very impressive. And I think that there are other programs like that throughout the district that I think the public need to take that opportunity to visit when they can.
I think that, well, thank you again for your service, and especially leaning in on this very, very important decision for the next superintendent and all of the work that goes into that. I was on one of the community outreach groups, focus groups, to talk about what the school district needs to be looking for in the next superintendent. And I'm looking forward to working with the new superintendent and all the staff who are going to be serving our students and our families going forward. So that was a big, big lift, and to step in at a critical time. I am very thankful for your service, and hopefully you will stay very connected with what's going on and continue to bring your expertise into the work that's going to be moving forward. So thank you so much, Bob. Really, really appreciate you and the work you're doing. So I really appreciated the conversation around all of the different programs we have where we're interconnecting between all of our education um, services. And it was talking about fire and the fire apparatus. Just a little note on the side. My husband was the captain at the Chemeketa Community College Station way back in the day. Prior to that, he was also captain out at Brooks. So as part of his career, 42 plus years in the fire service. So we're very familiar with those spaces, and those engines definitely needed to be moved on. They get a lot of use. When you have students on them, they get a little bit treated rough. So I want to segue over to Betty Hart from the Kaiser Fire District and talk about what's happening there. A lot of great stuff going on. And again, another leadership change coming with the fire chief. Welcome, Betty.
Thank you. Yes, that's correct. It is an interesting process hiring somebody in for a public agency. I've been involved in hiring executive directors and nonprofits before, but this is my first experience, of course, with as a board member to help hire a new chief. And so we'll be doing interviews soon. We have narrowed the field down, and we have invited some community members and some in-house staff to participate on 2 different panels that we'll have, who will interview the final candidates, and then they'll get to share their thoughts and concerns with the board and before we interview the finalists. And so it'll be an interesting process. I'm looking forward to as we move that forward. In the meantime, the fire district has been doing a great deal to move itself forward, and I'm pleased with all of the work that the staff throughout the organization has done to kind of move the organization forward. And there are lots of interesting things coming up. One is a 75th anniversary celebration for the fire district. And that will be held on May 20th, which is a Saturday from 2 to 5 p.m. And the fire district on our website, kaiserfire.com, has a form for people who have been affiliated with the fire district in the past, whether they were a volunteer firefighter or perhaps involved in one of the fire district committees, budget committee, or on the board or whatever, to fill out the form so that we have contact information and can invite them to come and participate in that event. And we have an exciting opportunity coming up starting on March 30th. We're going to begin to do a burn to learn on a home on Rivercrest that was donated by the family member who inherited it. And I had the opportunity to learn whose property it was yesterday, and I was really delighted because it is someone that I know and was sorry when he passed. And anyway, so they'll do an initial burn, and then on the 1st and 2nd, there'll be a group of people who will do some fire investigation. They'll have a chance to learn how to do the fire investigation in a classroom. Then they'll go out to the site and see how that works on the site. And then the firefighters will actually property to the ground and continuing the burn to learn process later afterwards. So that's really exciting. We don't very often get a property in which we can give that experience to our fighters. So it's really important. We're doing car seat installments every other month on the odd months. So the next one is in May 9th. That's the second Tuesday. So they're a second Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. And if you just need a car seat installed, you can just show up at the Kaiser Fire Station. If you need a car seat, then you need to contact the fire district, and they'll help you get a car seat for your child. We are also tentatively scheduling hands-only CPR for Wednesday, May 12th. So it has been shown that hands-only CPR can be just as effective as the traditional method. And so this will be a real opportunity for people to learn how to do hands-only CPR. The class will be only an hour, so watch for more information on that on the Fire District's Facebook page and on our website. And a couple of safety tips to be thinking about that kids will be out on their bikes, adults too. Not only is it important that you wear your helmet, but that you snap it under your chin so it doesn't fall off when you do. And the other thing, interestingly enough, it hadn't dawned on me, that is the weather is nicer and people open their windows, they become real hazards for small children in particular. And a small child doesn't have to fall very far out a window before it can be a really tragic event for the child and their family. So be sure that you make it inaccessible, if you will, to the child in terms of being able to access a window that's open, and keep an eye out for that. And let's see. Oh, yes. So there's information on window safety barriers at the website called Stop at 4. That's with the number 4, stopat4.com. So I encourage people to really look for those kind of safety features for their families.
Well, I've been adding some of these into the chat on our Facebook feed, and I'm hoping that people will be able to access these as we go along. Really want to plug the 75th anniversary. When I was talking about that storyboard for the community of Kaiser, very quickly recognized that the Kaiser Fire District long predates the city of Kaiser,
Right.
not the community, along with so many other organizations like Kaiser Rotary and Little League and the Water District and the Merchants Association, aka the Chamber. We're here long before incorporation,
Right.
but we were all community.
Yes. Yes. And the fire district has a really long tradition of, a lot of community members were actively involved as volunteers in the history of the organization. And of course, we've come to the point where we have so many calls, and it's really difficult for volunteers to have a regular job and volunteer for the fire district, because you end up not getting much sleep, if any, when you're there at night, say if you have a day job. And so it's not unusual for us to have 15 to 20 calls a day. And in 2022, we had in the neighborhood of 6,000 calls. And of course, about 2/3 of those, perhaps a little more, are medical calls. So that's, as our population has aged, we have experienced that in our community here, and a lot of calls, of course, because of that. Speaking of which, we are in the process of entering an agreement with Marion County to share space at Station 6. So we're going to put an ambulance there, and they will still, I think, staff a fire truck, and will be in a position to respond to their medical calls in the north end of Kaiser that's part of Marion County Fire, as well as bring us closer to the north end of our district as well. And we have more than reached the capacity of the fire station. And so this is an opportunity for us to not only have better access, but to put our equipment someplace, because there isn't room in our station anymore for all of it. So anyway, that's really exciting and is expected to start early next month. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Well, I really want to give a shout out to the Kaiser Fire District and Marion County Fire District, who have been working very diligently and intentionally to build relationships, to share resources, and to find ways where they can efficiently partner to provide increased services for the people of Kaiser. For folks who don't know, Kaiser Fire District covers up through Park Meadow. Park Meadow North then is part of the Marion County Fire District number 1. And just so a note, Marion County Fire District number 1 is not part of Marion County government. It is a separate government agency, and anybody who lives Park Meadow North, when you get your ballot, the candidates on there are for the Marion County Fire District number 1, not the Kaiser Fire District. And they go, well, we're in Kaiser. Well, welcome to Oregon. Fragmentation and, siloing is how we organize. Everybody does their thing. And so we really, as I said in the State of the City address, what we've had to learn to do as a result of the odd way that we do our taxation and government, we'll have to partner together. And Betty, you just pointed out just one of those many ways that partnering gets the job done.
Right.
And I think that makes us stronger personally. We've got the Chemeketa working with the school district, working with Chariots, working with the city, working with the fire districts, working together. And so they said, well, that's how it's going to be. And we said, okay, got it. We can do this.
This is true. So it's really, important that we do work together. And I'm pretty excited about this effort. And of course, May, there will be some positions up on the ballot. So people in the fire district, in the Kaiser Fire District, you can look forward to electing. In a couple of instances, there'll be no incumbent is running, and then there will be a choice in the third position. So I am running again for my position, and there'll be somebody running against me. So,
well, thank you, Betty, for your service as well. And we wish you and the fire district the best as we go into the May elections. Diane Watson is also up for re-election to her position. I was just looking at the Marion County elections page. And as I mentioned earlier, Bob Salazar is not running for a full term on the school board, but we have 2 candidates. And as always, make sure that you vote. There is no unimportant election. There is no unimportant race, even unopposed. Your vote counts. It tells those of us who don't have an opponent, and in the last election, I did not, do I have your support? Are you going to say, yes, this is a person that I want to serve in this elected position? So get your ballot, do your homework, and make sure you fill it out. So those ballots will be dropping soon. They will be arriving in your mailbox. And after you get them, fill them out. And it is free. I emphasize free to drop it off at the Kaiser City Hall. Once the election gets underway, that box is open for you to be able to drop off your ballot, sign the back, please. If you don't, you will get a phone call. I know I tried that a couple of elections ago. I forgot to sign the back, and it's like, is this really yours? I'm like, dang, yeah, it is. So it works. Drop that in the box. So your vote counts. If you don't vote, your vote doesn't count. So I cannot emphasize that enough. Local, vote. Did I say that enough? Maybe not. So I'd like to turn now to our good friend, Pastor Dominguez from La Luz de Valle Church and Latino Action Committee. It is always good to have you on the program. Give us a good word about what's happening in the community and how we can support one another in these early days of spring.
Well, first of all, just wanted to thank Bob Salazar for his contribution, his dedication to that process in choosing the new superintendent of Salem Kaiser School District. Bob, thank you very much for that. that work, that
Wow.
arduous work. Yes, and yeah, we're gearing up. LAC, Latin Action Committee. We're a group of community leaders from the faith community, from the educational community, and we're gathering and we're partnering with McNary High School. On May 11th, we'll be having our Latin Action Committee scholarship event, and so we're partnering. Last year, we were able to give migrant students, we were able to give 33 scholarships. And we were so blessed by giving them that. But not only that, we just want to promote and celebrate these young people as they graduate from high school and go to higher education. I was listening to Diane and those exciting programs at Chemeketa Community College. We have several of our graduates that are scholarship funded young people that are going to Chemeketa Community College to go on to a university. We had an event just recently. Rolando Herrera was at this event at our fellowship, and we wanted to honor some of our scholarship young people. And we had 3 young people that happened to be at the event, and Natalie and Genesis and Dalit, they were there. They were sharing with us their experience in higher education and how they desire to be a part of our community to help other young people that are coming behind them. And so, you give a little to the community. You plant a seed in people's hearts, and that grows in the hearts of other young people to help other young people. So our event will be May 11th. It'll be at the City Hall. It'll be at 6:30. The last time I asked for some help with some volunteers and some board members, and the community heard that. And we're hoping here soon to put it all together. But yeah, another thing is that I was just in a meeting. I was in a board meeting in the selection of an executive director. I'm part of a committee there, and we were looking at. We did a SWOT analysis of the strategies and the weaknesses and the opportunities and threats of this organization. And one of the things that we, the team that was there, that there are some shifts in our community that are happening. And one of the shifts that's happening in our community is that the Hispanic population in the city of Salem Kaiser, there was a board member that shared that there's 47.4% of Hispanics, Latinos in Salem Kaiser. And there's a shift in what is going on in our community. And one of the things that we were discussing was the courage. We need courage. There's always challenges in our community, but we need courage to want and to accept changes that are coming to our community. We're just so overjoyed with the selection of Andrea Castañeda. We in the faith community, I gathered with 1 or 2 faith community leaders, and we just want to meet our new superintendent. We want to extend to her our help in the faith community. What can we do better in our, of course, churches? We have a lot to do with the development of our young people as well as our families, and we're hoping to be a part of the future changes that are coming to our communities. And we're overjoyed with the fact that we have a new superintendent. We're overjoyed that challenges are opportunities to make a difference in our community. And so I that's all I have today, but we are blessed to hear the good news that we're hearing today.
Can I share a little bit on that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Jose, 100% correct. You know, I think planting those seeds with the young children that are coming through, as I was going through the schools and I went to observe the dual language program at Washington Elementary. And 20 years ago, I was the principal there. It is 100% better than when I was there. And some of that is because of the seed, you know, the students who went through there and then and other across the city went on to further their education so that they can become teachers. And now they're back involved. And those children are saying that the parents are comfortable with that. And they had the parental support. And it's, you know, the Olga Kolbs does a great job with getting the resources and the in-servicing from two of the most outstanding researchers in the nation out of Colorado and New Mexico. And they just it continues to get better. And I think with, as you said, with the awareness and the collaboration of the different agencies and the parents, keeping those people involved is going to continue to make it better. Because there will be challenges. You know, right now we are constantly hearing at board meetings about the behavior issues, but there is a committee that's working on that, and it will bring some results. Granted, I'm not running again next year, but for the next 3 months, I will still be putting 100% in it to see that those things happen. Thank you.
And I just wanted to add a few more comments. This planting a seed in young people's hearts. We planted 3 seeds in 3 different young people. We shared with them the need for teachers, Latino teachers, and now they're off to college. I meet with them regularly, and they are so excited. We've talked about these challenges that Bob brought up about behavior issues in the schools and so forth, and they go, well, we're willing to meet those head on. We're willing to make a difference, whatever it takes. We just want to be a part of the educational system. And so this thing of one person at a time, it will bring results. We just have to be patient.
Diane?
Yes, I didn't come prepared to talk about this today, but I will in the future, hopefully. Chemeketa is a Hispanic serving institution. Over 25% of the students that go to Chemeketa are Hispanic, and we've received a grant from the government to provide additional services for them. But we also have a camp program there for migrant students. We offer because part of my district goes to Woodburn and past, they have a program with Pacific University to create bilingual teachers, and Chemeketa provides the associate degree, and then they go on to Pacific. And I could go on and on, but I'm excited about this dialogue that we're having here, and hopefully I can bring you back some hard facts next time.
Diane,
Diane,
I'd like to talk to you a little more, and that's exciting. Thank you.
So we'll definitely connect emails and so forth. Pastor Dominguez, if people want to donate or get involved with the Latino Action Committee, do you have a website or an email for them to find out more?
Yes, they can send any donation, any questions. First of all, we'll give the phone number. It's 503-689-1652. My secretary or I will answer the phone. Also, they can send any questions that they may have about the Latin Action Committee scholarship event. They can send that to, I'll take that, I'll take those questions, JOSE, D as in David, 303 @gmail.com. Thank you, Mayor.
I'm going to put this into the Facebook feed so people can get a hold of you to learn more about getting involved.
And I just want to say, every single investment that you make in our young people, let me tell you, when we invest in our young people, we're investing not only for for today, but we're investing in the future. And I just want to encourage you, if you, I know there's so many other things that we could donate to, but I really believe that when we give to our young people, we're really making a difference. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Kathy?
Yes.
I'd like to give a personal attribution to community colleges generally. I grew up in Washington and went to the local community college in where I graduated from high school. And I cannot say enough how important that experience was for me and for my family. We did not have the finances to send me to a university right out of high school. So of course, it was pretty inexpensive to go to community college in those days. And I had a small scholarship that paid for most of that and was able to live at home. And then, you know, went on to the university and got my bachelor's degree and ultimately ended up with a master's degree as well. But community college is such an important place for so many people as a whether they're starting out or trying to figure out what they're going to do now, given changes that occur. And as we all know, so many things have changed over the years, and what you might have been trained for in the past may may no longer even exist as a job. So you need new opportunities to move forward, and the community college is certainly a place to get that. And I'm pretty excited about them pursuing the Bachelor of Nursing degree, because I know that that's the future of nursing, is that more and more nurses will need bachelor's degrees rather than the 2-year RN. So that's a really exciting thing, Diane. I'm really thrilled for our
Well, there's so much great stuff going on. I'm going to throw up on the screen one more thing to remind people that another way to get involved in our community is through our cultural center. And right now, The Odd Couple is playing courtesy of Kaiser Homegrown Theater. So real quick little share screen here to let people know if they want a wonderful evening close by where you can either take the bus because it drops off right in front, or walk down to our wonderful cultural center next to City Hall. Dinner and a show is really affordable and close by, and this show is fabulous. Went there last night with my family. Kaiser Community Library continuing to provide tremendous opportunity for families for reading programs, and just a great way to volunteer as well. If you want to volunteer for our community library, please go to their website and volunteer there. As we wrap up today, I just want to thank all of my friends and partners in serving the people of Kaiser. Betty Hart from the Kaiser Fire District Board of Directors, RJ Navarro from the Chariots Board of Directors, Diane Watson from the Chemeketa Community College Board of Education, Bob Salazar from the Salem Kaiser School District Board, and our wonderful friend and community leader, Pastor Jose Dominguez from La Luz de Valle. I'm Cathy Clark, Mayor of the City of Kaiser, and it's truly been a pleasure to bring you this month's March edition of Coffee with Cathy. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next month.